Okay, Gabriel back with you. Last time we left off, we were on our way headed for Leviticus chapter 19, and we're just going to touch on a couple of verses in Leviticus. These are concerning God's laws. What does God require of us to perform? What does He require of His children, His selected children? When I say the word selected, I mean those who are born again, those who have been washed, clean, sanctified, redeemed, whoever it may be. It can be anyone. Anyone has the choice. All of us have the choice to make whether or not we want to serve God or serve Satan. So we're going to be in chapter 19. We're going to start in verse 9. I want to start in verse 9 because verse 9 talks about God's people. How we are to, when we receive benefits, when we receive rewards, when we receive an increase, how we are to give back what God has given us. Not only as a tithe, doesn't explain tithes right here in verse 9, but it's explaining how we are to treat strangers, how we are to give to strangers, how we are to give to the poor. And Leviticus chapter 19, verse 9 says, "And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not wholly reap the corners of thy field, neither shalt thou gather the gleanings of thy harvest." Basically, what gleanings is you have a whole field of corn. Okay, God says when the harvest has come, you don't completely, take everything for yourself. Don't glean the corners. A lot of people will glean the corners because, maybe it's not as suitable or as, healthy, or it's not. People glean things. When you use the word glean, you cut off. You cut off the edges. So basically, God is saying when you reap the harvest, when you reap the harvest of your land, because it's God saying that. Is using a possessive word, your, because it is yours, but don't wholly reap the corners of thy field. Leave that section, leave that part for the people who pass by. You say leave that part for the people who pass by. Why? It doesn't belong to them, it belongs to me. Well, God says here that as a believer, as one of His children, you are to feed the poor. Don't cut off the excess waste or, sell it. You understand what I'm saying? Don't cut off the excess, the surplus, and, give it to a friend or a family member. You leave that. So when the poor and the strangers are passing by, that it can be for them. You understand what I'm saying? I really like this part of the Bible because I like this verse in the Bible because it really talks about selfishness. A lot of Christians are selfish. These are the people that God can do nothing with, as we read in the book of Isaiah. They're very selfish. They don't know how to give. When our God is a giving God, we don't know how to give. We have too many stupid excuses that if we don't change our ways soon, that God is going to hold us accountable for the words that come out of our mouth. Every single word. Oh, this person doesn't deserve that. He didn't work for it. He messed up his own life. He's lazy. He's a bum. God's not talking about. He's not talking about that. He just wants you to follow His word.